Hello and welcome. So this is the tiny pump. Now you've seen this before. If you haven't, there's a video up there. This is a very small pump for airbeds and such for camping, and it's a decent little thing. They're not a lot, 20 quid, something like that. But in the comments of the video that I made on this, a lot of people said to me, can it do kayaks? And the short answer to that is no, it can't. It's not powerful enough. It's limited to just air mattresses, so it's ideal for a wild camping trip, for a hiking trip, that sort of thing. But when it comes to boats, it's a little bit limited and it can't cope. Now I've just got this, and this is the Max Pump 2 Pro. It's by the same company, Flextailgear, and what this boasts on the side is inflation and deflation. It has a built-in camping lantern. You can use it as an emergency charger for your phone, and it does super high pressure. So I want to know if this can do a kayak. Now I own a kayak, so that is today's test. But let's have a quick look at it. I mean, like the tiny pump, you know, in the box you're going to get all the valve attachments that you can make something to suit anything you have, which is what I discovered with the tiny pump. You know, you get these same attachments with that, and all these little plastic ones, they all fit something, and if they don't, you've got this rubberized one which kind of can just sit over the top and you can create a seal with it yourself. This is the Max Pump 2 Pro. Now let's stand it next to the tiny pump. It's not actually that much bigger. I'd say it's double the size. It's still really packable. So you've got a light on there, you've got a hanger for the light, so again it can go in a tent and be a lamp, which is pretty cool. And you've got a USB slot there and the charging port there. I do like a multiple use item, but its main party piece is its inflation and deflation. Now how that works is whatever you attach to it, let's just take one of these at random. It's going to draw the air in here and blow it out of there. So if you take this off of that end and you attach it to that end, it's going to suck the air out of the thing you're trying to deflate and blow it out of there. So that's how the inflation and deflation works. And control wise, you know, shoving something like this in your bag that's got a button on the side, you would think it's a risk that it's going to come on in your bag, but that risk is minimal because these buttons are not a single press, they're all double press. So to turn the light on, you've got to press it twice, and to turn on the pump, you've got to press it twice. In the instructions on this pump it says long press to adjust the pressure. Okay. And with the light feature it's the same. Double press turns it on, and that I think is 500 lumens, but if you hold this down, this button, it just turns itself down, and then that's its low setting, which is 50 lumens. And I guess if you let go of it anywhere in between there, you find the brightness level that's right for you, and then it'll hold itself there. It doesn't have a memory, so when you turn it back on, it's back on full power. And a couple of other bits. This weighs 160 grams, inflation pressure 4 kPa, filling speed 300 litres per minute, exhaust pressure 4 kPa, compression ratio 55%, average power 17.5 watts, battery capacity 3600 milliamp hours. So I'm going to put it to the test today. I'm going to pump up some air mattresses, and I'm going to try and pump up my kayak, and we'll see how it copes with that. Right. So we'll start gentle, shall we? We'll start with a Thermarest Neo Air X Lite. So obviously, you know, find your valve for the particular thing. Now, I've used these types for other air mattresses, but in my experience of the other pump, the rubbery one is the thing to use for the Thermarest. It just kind of slots over. Right. I'm not going to bother with a timer. I did some time tests on the other video for the tiny pump, and it blew this up in a minute and a half, so I've got no problems that this will be quick. So that's one mat. This is the wider, longer version of Trekology's mat. So again, find the valve that fits, and that is the one. It slots in there nice and easy, and then this bit just fits on the end Give it the double press. Okay, next job, we'll try climb it. This is the insulated static Velux. This is the older version of the climate mat. Again, it's a long and wide version. Climate one I think I'm going to have to hold, because it's quite a tall valve, that one. There we go. So the climate valve, because it's a twist and pull up, when you put this on, it pushes the valve down again, so you just have to hold that valve and hold that in place. But that is still easier than blowing it up yourself. And then the last bed, we'll do an X bed. Okay. So that's 4 sleeping pads that have been no bother to this thing, and I've mostly used this one and this one of the 2 valves. I haven't touched those other valves yet, but yeah, this is fine. It's a beast, to be fair, but the ultimate test will be the kayak. So I'm going to get my boat out. So my kayak is the Intex K2 Challenger, and pumping it up usually takes 15-20 minutes, and it's quite laborious, really. If this can pump it up, I'll be very happy. I've got a valve that fits, this long pointy one. Trouble is, this kayak's, it's got 2 sections. It's got the base section and then the sides, and the base section is tucked under here. So I need to be a bit careful that I don't squash the intake valve, but we'll see. Right, here we go then. But it's definitely going up. I can see movement. So part way through, it's going up. I've got high hopes. Okay, that's excellent. That is, I didn't put a timer on for that, but under 5 minutes, definitely. And that's inflated fine. I'm going to put a timer on for the top just to see. Hang on, I'll just get my phone. Stopwatch on, press start, pump in place, and off we go. Okay, we're on 3 minutes 39, and while it's not fully inflated, there's a bit of give in there. It did make a funny noise, and there's a warning in the instructions to this that says don't use it for longer than 10 minutes, and I have been kicking the arse out of it a little bit with all their mats and stuff. Give it a bit longer, see what happens. It's making funny noises. Alright, that's 8.5 minutes. Yeah, I think that's done okay, to be fair. I mean, I think, admittedly, you would take your pump with you that comes with the kayak, and maybe just put an extra few bits in. I think that pump has reached its limit, but it has 95% pumped up this kayak, which if I've then got to do, you know, 20 pumps with a pump just to top it off, I'm quite happy with that. I think it's done alright. So this little thing, a palm-sized pump, has done 4 air mattresses and a kayak this afternoon. That is mighty impressive. And admittedly, you know, the kayak needs a touch more air in it. But if you can save yourself 95% of the labour and just do a few pumps just to finish it off, I think that's a win, really. And the same with the air mats. You know, when you pull the valve off, you lose a little bit of air. So you just blow in there once or twice, top them up, job done. We need to test the deflation, because I think that's quite important. Some people struggle. I know my friend John, he struggles to get the air out of his X-Ped mat, and sometimes it's hard to get the air out of a kayak, so I'll have a go at deflating them just to make sure it does what it says on the tin. As many owners of these kayaks will tell you, you know, the biggest ball ache for these things is getting them folded up and back in the car afterwards. So if the deflation is anywhere near as good as the pump, then you know, it's a winner. With this kayak, you know, you undo the double valve to deflate it, so it's a slightly bigger hole, so there's another nozzle. And for the deflation, you know, when you inflate, you put them on the side here. For deflation, you just reverse it, put it on the bottom, and it just, you know, pushes air out of here, so it'll suck it out of this one. That's very cool. I mean, I would take that pump kayaking for the deflation alone. That's a game changer. Sometimes when I finish kayaking, I spend ages walking up and down, laying on it when it's wet, trying to get the air out in order to be able to fold it up. To be able to just stick a pump on it and leave it and just suck all the air out, that's brilliant. That is amazing. Oh my gosh. This is the point normally when I'm kayaking, you know, where I'm really struggling, you know, it's really, I can't get all the air out, and I give up and I just sling it in the boot of my car. That is very cool. And just for fun, you know, out of all my sleeping pads, this X-Ped one is the hardest to get the air out of. Again, I'm just going to stick that in the end. That is brilliant. And there's an attachment on this for vacuum seal bags and all sorts, so you know, whatever your air related needs, it seems to be able to cope. Right. All you X-Ped users out there, no effort at all. That is fantastic. So that is the Flextailgear Max Pump 2 Pro, and yeah, I've got nothing but good things to say about it. There's a valve for all occasions, there's a little carry bag for it, but for something that big, to be able to do kayaks, sleeping pads, and you got the bonus of having a little light on there and all that kind of thing, use it as an emergency charger for a phone, that's a hell of a thing. Thanks Flextailgear, good work. And obviously there's a buying link in the description. If you choose to get one of these, then do click on my link. But thank you for watching this video. It's been a fun afternoon blowing things up and letting them down again. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.